Hey, how's it going, guys? God's Vessel or Caesar here again today, bringing you another Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 chapter challenge walkthrough on the PS3. A couple days ago, we uploaded chapters 1 and 2, and today we're going to try to get through 3 and 4. If I'm on a roll and things don't go too bad, I might do 5 and 6, or I might do 5, 6, and 7. We'll kind of see how that goes depending on how stressful this gets. So one thing I'm trying differently today is the voiceover recording I'm doing for the gameplay. What I usually do is I go ahead and I go in, and as I'm playing the game, I'll record the audio as I'm playing the game. So for some reason the audio didn't sync up the way I wanted it to in post. So we're going to go ahead and try and record the audio or the voiceover, I guess the commentary part, as the video is being played back to me. So you guys let me know how it sounds on your end, or if you like this sort of style of recording the video then commentating over it later versus recording the commentary as the video is being produced. So here we are in chapter 3. Of course, we're playing it on the Master Ninja difficulty, and what else train of thought there? Yeah, of course we're playing on the Master Ninja difficulty. Again, it says the chapter challenge mode. It's too stressful to play through the normal story mode with the default weapons and things like that, so we're not going to go through that. Let's go ahead and make this adjustment here. Let's do this. Okay. And of course we have to go ahead and equip our, give me 1 second. Boom, there we go. We have to go ahead and equip our DLC white uniform. That one's the best one because I said it is. I'm kidding, but yeah. One thing I'm also going to be doing here, I think in this chapter here towards the end, I died too many times to kind of upload, and I doubt you guys want to sit here and watch me die, you know, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or so many times on the boss fight. So what you'll see is I'll get to a certain part, and I think it's like the fish worm-ish kind of battle, and if I start to die and I get there, I'll just cut out the deaths and upload the part where I actually beat him, unless you guys just want to see me die over and over again. It's a waste of time and footage of uploading, so that's what'll happen when we get there. But back to the footage in front of us. We have chapter 3 and our most favoriteest boss to fight. If you don't know what's going on with him, Alexi. He is the excuse me, it's kind of late too. He is the first greater fiend that you fight. One of 4 actually, and he can be pretty irritating. I think in chapter 4, you actually do go ahead and fight him, but nah, it's just a bunch of filler on the game's part to kind of get you ready for that environment. So that is that. Well, here we are, the beginning of chapter 3. And if you guys haven't noticed already, every time I come across dogs, I'm probably going to trip out a little bit. But I absolutely hate the dogs this game. I've said it in 2. I think they're the most broken enemy in all the history of games. And I'm saying it here again in chapter 3. It may be a bit redundant, but I hate the dogs. So my thought right here was to go ahead and maybe, switch to the dual blades and put a couple arrows into them. And I'm like, all right, sweet. I know they're going to spawn more. I hear one spawning right here. And right here, I was trying to charge the UT, the ultimate attack, and it just wouldn't let me charge it. So I said, well, I'll pop an info. And right here, I'm hoping to get 3 of them, but it didn't work out that way either. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll just fight them. And then this happens right here. Now, when I'm playing through the game, I'm very depressed when that happened, because I feel like the character can't keep up with what's going on the screen. The controller and the animation, it's kind of out of whack. I don't want to say out of sync, but there are some things that happen on the screen that when you press the input, Ryo just doesn't respond. So at this point, I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to go ahead and take out the Emma's Fame. And these things actually do make short work of the dogs too, so. And again, the UT is the, I think, safest way to engage them. Either the UT or the Nempo. It's the safest way to engage the dog. And here, I'm hoping for an on-landing UT, and I get it right here, and I get flying swallowed by the dog, so. I'm just gonna go ahead and run. I think I go back to my trusty Tonfas. Or dual blades, one of the two. I find those two weapons to be the most effective weapons in the game to fight any enemy. But here, instead of going with the Tonfas or dual blades, we break out our new favorite Nempo. I'm actually not a fan of this Nempo either. I think that Nempo's, again, kind of noobish, but it's come down to preference, I guess. But I am finding that Nempo is useful in these early rounds, because as of right now, it's an insta kill. So I guess I'll probably use it as the situation calls for it at that moment. But in the meantime, as I said before, you guys should know that the Void Nempo is an insta kill to whoever it hits, except of course bosses. And the Windblade Nempo delimbs and sometimes insta kills other enemies as well, so keep that in mind for most of your encounters. Either the Void Nempo or the Windblades are probably the best way to go, unless you're fighting dogs. And I think there's a chest over here to the right. It's either fish or bats, and in this case right here, it's the bats. Excuse me. I'll take the bats over the fish any day. The fish were actually a lot worse in Sigma 1, but they turn them down quite a bit. And I think this is a part of the game right here where they give you the is it the flails? No, the flails you get, it might give you the flails right there, I'm not sure. I think it gives you the flails, but right here I'm just kind of waiting. Anytime you have, anytime you see a suspicious corner and it's too quiet, it's probably bad guys around the corner. I'm just trying to go ahead and the Rocket Man should always be priority. Any guy sitting in the back line is priority, or should be priority, because they just make havoc for your rest of your encounter. I know I didn't exactly do that right here, but I kind of went with the flow of things. But most of the times you'll want to go ahead and just dive on the Rocket Man. And always be sure to check your corners before you go on to the next area. Even though the game may tell you to go ahead and just streak forward, check your corners around you, because you usually have a chest with some sort of health, essence, or Nempo. And right there, that goes to show that accuracy of that rocket ninja. He's like a sniper with a rocket launcher. And you see me kind of abusing the guillotine throw, because it's, of course, an I-frame, and it delimbs enemies when they hit the wall. Sometimes, not all the times, just sometimes. So that's how that works right there. And another corner where things are too quiet. It's bound to be an encounter somewhere. Oh, and also doing the on-landing UT and killing these guys with the essence, it gives you more money when you kill them that way. I'm not just doing it just for style or to kill them fast. Like this guy right here who I'm attacking, when he dies and I get the essence, it's going to give me more money. So it's kind of a way to double your money from the game, as opposed to just collecting it as you kill them the normal way. Keep that in mind as well. So every opportunity you get, go for the on-landing UT to kind of increase your money, so you'll be able to buy the Talisman of Rebirth. And I think we have a couple of mages here, and stuff like that happens. And I'm pretty sure I had full health right there, and I get torched, but the torch is not what got me upset. What got me upset was I had almost full health, if not full health right there, and he grabbed me, and I was like, 90% damage. So 90% damage, and this is not a boss fight. This is just standard, enemy encounter. Of course, they're not standard enemies, but it's regular foot soldiers. And that guy does 90% damage in one grab. I expect that kind of stuff from the boss, but like I said, it makes the game challenging / cheap. So yeah, when I caught him coming out of the ground. That's one thing I like about the Tonfas is that their delimbing power. You knock a couple heads off, or you swing a couple times and it delimbs them. That's what I enjoy about the Tonfas over any other weapon. And kind of like right here, notice how I'm able to shoot the arrow like super fast. I might have talked about this in the previous video. If you're aiming and then you strafe, you shoot the arrow faster. If you just stay still, you can only shoot it, or you shoot it a lot slower. And so again, I'm just kind of demonstrating it right here. So you aim and you strafe and you can shoot faster. But if you stand still, you shoot slower. And you're more vulnerable to attack as well. So look out for that. Okay, we get it. Move on. All right. I hear a Rocket Man. Yep, delimb him. As soon as you see him delimbed, always go for the OT, the obliteration technique. No matter what, no matter who else is around you, because it gives you an iframe and it gets rid of a very dangerous enemy. And this Rocket Man was getting out of hand. When I was playing through this, I felt like it was more than one of them, even though it's only one here on screen. But the way he was shooting his rocket, it's like it's got to be at least two of them back there. So those guys can actually get out of hand sometimes if you leave them unchecked. So Rocket Man always go first. And then that little dash right there where you saw him scoop him up and flip and slam him on the ground, you can loop that over and over again if the enemy isn't dead when you slam him on the ground. Like right here, I kind of go back and save. So anytime you see there's a save point that you can still go back to after clearing a tough encounter, I always recommend going back to go save. And then that way, if you die at the next encounter, you just respawn like right here where I just saved it without having to fight the whole previous encounter again. But if you can't get back to it, then, I hope you're pretty confident or good to go to the next part without dying. And just like right there on the screen, I lost a chunk of my health from these guys throwing shurikens at me. I think these are pretty annoying too. It's a cool concept on paper to have a ninja throw shurikens to explode, but they, the blast rate is a bit much. I mean, I think it is anyway. And I'm just trying to get a handle on this crowd because it's so many of them. I throw in a guillotine throw. I hope I can catch them in the D-limb right here, but it didn't work out, so we'll keep watching and see what happens. Yeah, if you get them separated, go for it. Just stay on them. That's the best way. More damage from the explosives. That's the best way to fight any enemy one-on-one, away from the crowd. So just kind of keep that in mind too. If you get them separated, stay on them. Kill them or finish them. Or kill him or finish him. Same thing. Kill him or get away from him because he'll grab you especially if he's hurt. And that ninja right there on the right side of my screen, I know he's hurt, so I kind of want to get rid of him. If I can't get rid of him, stay away from him. I probably should have just OT'd that guy right there instead of throwing him. Yeah, might have been safer. And I make a very dumb move right here, a very dumb decision. So two things happened. I was charging the UT 50 yards away, and two, I was, one shot, and the guy throws a shuriken at me and punishes me for it. So that was not exciting having to, as you can see, play through it again. And kind of like how I was just saying, I save right here, so when I jump down, I don't have to fight anything in this area because it's already cleared by the checkpoint. And because I played with my food, you get to watch me play through it again. And I'm still trying to get these Kasurigamis a shot. Because they're really cool when you learn how to use them. It's just a steep learning curve. You get stuck with the shuriken. Do in the background with the machine gun. It's always fun too. Adds a new dimension to the fight. Kidding, super irritating. About to make another stupid move right here. At least I was about to. Yeah, that guy was dead right there, but it's always fun to torture him when you can. He had no arms and one leg. Why not go ahead and go for the head ripping off as well? I mean, you know, they would do it to you. They do it to you. There's actually, I think, an enemy in the game where he, it's a ninja with the sword and the gun, the tactical ninja. And if you cut his arm off, what he'll do is he'll jump on you, stab you in the face several times with his sword, and of course each stab is like 1,000% damage, so you're dead on the first stab. And then when he's done stabbing you several times, he'll take a grenade and plant it in your mouth and then blow you up while he's on top of you. So, you know, I figure I could turn the favor at least one time in the game. I really don't want to die right here. I'll just switch to the children's Nempo. I know I make fun of it, but it, you know, obviously it works against the dog, so if it works, then go with it. But keep in mind, this Nempo can only target 3 enemies. So you want to try to reduce the enemies on the field, so when you do cast it, it'll clear the field out for you, if possible. You know, reduce the enemies on the field. Now, where did this dog come from right here? I heard him in the headset on playback, but during the actual game, I did not hear him. And if had he killed me, I probably would not be uploading this chapter. Stupid mutt. He looks dangerous, doesn't he? These guys are pretty bad. The Vangelfs, I believe they are. They get out of hand. I think katanas were designed just for these guys. Because it's just forward T. Forward T or forward triangle and then dash and triangle. Dilemma them and you can finish them off. You just got to worry about avoiding the little thing you hear him doing right there. That little, yeah, that. You just gotta worry about avoiding that and his fireball attack, and you'll be okay. Man, that little bark I did was pretty loud, wasn't it? I'll probably turn it down when I go check this video out. But yeah, just watch out for that little barking thing he does, or the barking sound, and you'll be okay. Because the barking sound means he's about to jump on top of you. And of course, if he lands on you, he kills your Master Ninja. Any grab in Master Ninja is an insta kill. So that's the part of the game. I think we got dogs coming up right here. I'm trying to, you see me walking really slow. I'm trying to edge right into the point where they trigger the dogs, then I can charge the UT up. I'd rather take a chance and fight one of them than, you know, try to fight 2 or 3 of them. It got kind of dark in here, didn't it? Always check the corners to see if there's any. I've said this before, to see if there's any kind of chest. You'll hear me repeat that several times throughout these recordings. Always check your side corners and hidden areas to make sure that there are no chests you're missing. So right here during the gameplay, I was looking for a option in the menu to turn actually like the brightness up, because this tunnel just is much darker than what I like for it to be, and I'll make it brighter when I do the color correction for the video, but it still is really dark right here. So that's why you see me in the menu in the game looking for those options. Well, I feel like I have to go ahead and warn you. I think this is the part where I get pretty lost. I don't remember where to go. I mean, I remember where to go, but I don't remember the exact way. So I spend quite a bit of time in here looking around. So yeah, you might want to skip ahead to later on in the video to the next actual encounter of enemies, because oh, I guess I was mistaken. And again, just abuse the whole aim and strafe method with the arrows. That's all I'm doing. Make sure you're hard to target to hit. Guys, I have an idea. Check this out right here. I go for a swim in the middle of combat. It'll make me completely unpredictable. They won't know what to do. It's the ultimate strategy for fighting ninjas with guns. Looks like I fell again. I'm stuck. Alright, there we go. And I haven't played these chapters in quite some time, so maneuvering through the levels may seem a bit clunky or clumsy at times, or even amateurish, because it's almost oh, fish shit. Okay, phew. Oh man, the fish would destroy you. It's always I don't play these chapters, these early chapters. I'll play like, you know, from 12 on up, but these early chapters I don't play that often. So excuse my clunky maneuvering through the levels. Now, I know what some of you guys are going to be thinking, but just go back and play the chapter before you play the video again. That's double working myself. And that'd be a bit much to play through the whole chapter and then turn around and re-record it and then play through it again. Nah, nope. Well, obviously, look, I got the nipples mixed up, and I know this nipple is supposed to protect you. That was not the plan in the game. I put it on by mistake. I'm thinking it was the fire nipple, this one right here. So I put it on. I'm like, well, it's supposed to protect you, so I guess I'll be safe from the rockets. And you see me jump on the wall and get shot down like a fly. So it was pretty bad right there and there. But I can't complain. At least I didn't die, you know? And you see me playing with my food yet again. If I didn't learn from earlier, throwing shurikens at that claw ninja that threw the explosive shuriken back at me and killed me. I get caught doing it there again. Fortunately, I didn't get killed this time though. But be on the lookout for this tunnel. Those Vangelfs are always in there. Little overkill here. And you can manipulate his movements. If you get within a certain range, he'll do certain attacks. So you'll see me kind of doing that from time to time as well. Manipulating the movement, waiting for him to make a move, then I'll react to it. Versus just going right in, because he'll just literally, he has this thing where he'll like just drop out the air and walk on your character and kill you. So that's a way to deal with those guys. Sure is spooky in here. Is it? I don't think it is. It just looks that way at least. Now in Sigma 1 there would probably be enemies in the water. There are enemies in the water you have to face in Sigma 2. But they're down the road and they're only a real threat if you stay in the water or actually swim in the water, so you don't have to worry about that right here. And here we are in our Maramusa shop. Again, if you're playing through the game legitimately, or you know, through the actual difficulty, through the story mode or not chapter challenge, you'll see your essence start to stack up. But you don't get that bonus in here playing chapter challenge because none of the essence carries over between chapter and chapter. So other thing to look out for. And this right here is a portion of the map I was talking about earlier where you guys get to see me get lost. I did get lost in here because I forgot like where to go. So I guess you guys will have to kind of excuse that, you know, part of the gameplay. And these fans are right here in front of us. Has anybody ever tried to, like, I know this is dumb, but tried to like walk through the fans out of curiosity? If you haven't, I've done it when I first started playing the game. I just tried it to see what would happen, see if I can walk through the fans while they're spinning. And of course it's stupid logic to dictate you can't walk through fan blades, but I tried it anyway, you know, and of course it killed me, so I don't do it anymore. I just thought I would kind of throw it out there to see if anybody had ever done that. You know, let me know in the comment section. And right here is where I really got turned around. I was trying to figure out how to get across to the other side. And I'm like, man, I know there's a way to get across, but there are no ladders. And I tried to jump right there. I think I go back up the ladder again, and this time I try a flying swallow with the tonfas, which just doesn't work. Obviously, we'll see. And I think I finally figure it out, and I put on the dragon sword, because you do have the dragon sword from the start of the game to make this leap across to the other side. So that's what we got going on here. It took me a minute to figure this out. Crystal Skull. Reduces the total price of items in the marketplace in Maramusa's shop, so when you see those, always go for them. Never pass those up. Never. If you're playing chapter challenge, yeah, you can pass them up. But playing through the story on the actual story mission itself, never pass them up. And this is where things finally hit me that I can use the dragon sword to leap across. So a light bulb went off in my head. Yeah. There it is. See? I'm a genius. And no, I will not be diving through the fan while it's moving. It'd be pretty bad. I just got done talking about that and turn around and flip through the fan as it's moving and kill. So fortunately, we don't have any of that going on here. But here again is another part of the game where I get kind of lost, because I think there's a chest down here in the bottom. Usually on these water parts of the game or the map, there's usually a chest somewhere for you to pick up that's hidden. So I've kind of made it a habit of just searching everywhere, even places I don't remember that might have a chest somewhere in the bottom of it. Could give you essence, could give you Nempo, could give you health back through the herbs of life. So it never hurts to look. You can't drown underwater, and segment 1 you could drown underwater until you got to about 75% of the game. It gave you a rebreather. Yes, they actually put a rebreather in the game in segment 1, but they just made it where you have unlimited oxygen or air underwater. So yeah, I don't have to worry about that here, but I'm still looking for that chest. That's why you see me swimming on the bottom of the floor. I think there's a chest in here, and I'm probably wrong. So and the game tells me to go down below, so I guess I'll have to go down there, huh? Don't worry, guys, it's coming along. I'll figure it out. And if you open the chest and you're not sure of what's going on down below, what's going on with the chest, just always be prepared to do a 360 T or 360 triangle. With the tonfas or the dual blades, it's an iframe and they can't hit you. So if you think there's fish there and you don't remember to switch weapons to the flails to fight the fish off, just do a 360 T. That'll give you some wiggle room as well to kind of prepare for what's coming out of the chest. Real creepy in here. It's too quiet again. Let's get ready. Dogs. I'll switch right away. I'm not playing any games with these dogs. Now, I usually don't recommend like you burning through all your Nempo on one fight, but because the checkpoint was so far away, I want to just go ahead and do it. We're going to burn through all of them. I'd rather get through a fight like this and not have any Nempo than try to be cute and not have anything at all. Or not to using them and keep dying, should I say. When you see me right here, I go for the OT. Again, if you have wounded enemies, finish them first. Because if they're not dead, when you cast the Nempo, the fire Nempo, it will target them as a full enemy on the map. So go always take care of that. Get rid of as many wounded enemies as you can, because the fire Nempo can only target 3 enemies, and you don't want to target the same 3 that are already injured. That's just a waste. So put that into your move set as well. Take out crippled or injured enemies before casting a Nempo. Just with the fire one. With the wind blade one, you can do what you want to do with it. Here come more of the gold dragons. I think it's gold dragons. No gold dragons here? Alright. I know they're in here. We'll encounter them again eventually. See, I got close to him right there. When you get close to him, you can manipulate his movement. You get close to him, he'll dive on you, but be expecting that move. Be ready to counter it. If you get close to him and you're not ready for it, he'll just walk on you and kill your character. And that happens right there. So a prime example of what I was talking about of getting close to him and not being ready for that little stupid ass dive that he does, that'll kill you right there. So as you see, I suffered what I was just talking about happening. So yeah, not fun at all. I couldn't grab anybody for the guillotine throw here. Get this dude out of here. See, he'll just stand there and shoot rockets. I mean, I guess that's what his purpose is, but it's still pretty dumb though. I was hoping to get a double kill with that, but it didn't work out. Dodge the fireballs, get close to him, and engage him. Yeah, I'd rather have him on the ground than have him floating above me. There's one more trying to creep up on me. Yeah, asshole. I'm not gonna have a repeat from last time. And right there, when you see him swinging like that, you can counter that as well. I think it's square. Holding block to hit square area, you'll counter it. It'll injure him. Now, this is the part where I died too many times coming up. So we're gonna go ahead and wait for this cutscene to pass. And once you see it say game over, I'm gonna just go ahead and cut out all the fails in between and just put the portion up when I actually beat it, because it got really stressful right here. A lot of these boss fights are not boss fights, they're test of patience fights, and they're extremely cheap. So you get to see me fail here the first time, and then I'll just cut the repeated fails out and upload it from when I actually beat it. So yeah. But the idea with this guy is to, when he goes to one end of the tunnel, as you can see here, you take out the arrow and you want to go ahead and pepper him with your arrow. Oh, and I get shitted on. So you want to go ahead and pepper him with your arrow, and you do it enough times and you should be able to kill him. Alright guys, we are back with try number 1337. Like I said before, I cut out the multiple fails I had fighting this guy here. This is the actual footage of me clearing, at least I hope it is. So the concept is simple, the execution of it can be difficult, because you got bullshit like that right there. I was trying to aim at him and the camera like flips and goes the opposite way. But what's supposed to happen here is when he goes to one end, you're supposed to see what's wrong with the camera right here. The camera is the Archfiend. It's the greatest fiend of all time. It's going to screw you over in chapter challenge as well as team missions. But enough of the camera talk. So the idea is that when he goes to one end, you're supposed to be on the other end hitting him with the arrow. The Nempos do very little damage. You may be able to use them for like iframes if you're in the way and you think you're going to make it. But this guy does massive damage. So you see how he's going that way, you want to get behind him. And right here during this fight is very important that you abuse the whole strafing while shooting the arrow tactic, because if you try to shoot him, you know, kind of one at a time by standing still, you'll be here all day and you're more likely to make mistakes and then get killed and start over. And remember, there is no checkpoint. Let me see, is there a checkpoint for this guy? There's a checkpoint, but you have to fight through the enemies again. So if you were to rage quit right here and then come back, you gotta start from that checkpoint where you saw me fight the Claw Ninjas and then the Rocket Ninja and then the Dragons and then come back here. So take your time with this portion right here. Be patient. Do not try to be greedy and squeeze in extra damage. That's probably how I died a lot in the earlier parts of this fight. So once I finally got the hang of it, this is what you see here on screen. So I think when you get him by halfway, he starts to do this weird like wide face mask attack where he kind of stops and shoots his face at you. That will destroy you. So always look out for that. So spend very little time on the same end that he's going to, because if he sees you, that face mask attack will kind of hit the entire area and kill you. And I got really lucky right there, because if one of those hits you, the rest of them are going to hit you too, and you're pretty much done. So you see right here, see how he's kind of like standing there? That attack right there, that will end you. So he does that when you get about halfway, get him halfway health halfway down, should I say. It is late, I'm pretty tired shooting this, but I want to get it done though. But yeah, and look out for these fish. And so this is what I was saying by using the health and the nimble as iframes, because I have one on my character, and if I think I'm going to get caught, I'll just pop the nimble, and the nimble is an iframe. Now you cannot do, let me see, you can't block that attack right there. That face mask attack, you can't block that. It's almost like a grab. But the fish that come flying at you, you can't nimble out the fish. So if they come at you and you can't make it, just nimble. I don't think the triangle T or 360 T works, but just try your best to stay out of the line of sight with these guys, or try to stay behind him, and you should be okay. You might see me do a Nempo here in a little bit because I kind of panic. I want to take any chances, so you might get to see it. You might be able to get 3 or 4 arrows off regularly. If you can only go for 3, take the safe attack and go for 3, run to the other end. No point in risking it. Yeah, the fish are getting more aggressive now. Took a chance right there, went for 2 shots. Could have came back to haunt me. I got really confused right here. And I got really lucky too, because normally that would have killed me. That's how I died so many times before. I should probably heal up. Oh, okay, here we go. Hold still. And then the ironic thing about this is that when it's all done, we have Ryu walking like it was a walk in the park. Like he's some kind of ultimate badass. Yeah. I don't have Ryu's confidence level yet, because I was really hot when I played through this. So that's that. Well, that is the end of chapter 3 from the Ninja Gaiden segment 2 walkthrough. And of course I get the karma score of Master Ninja. I mean, I am playing on the Master Ninja difficulty, you know. And I guess it's important to upload my score to a, almost 10-year-old game, maybe 8, 7-year-old game. But anyway, we're going to pause this recording here. We're going to go ahead and do the commentary for chapter 4, I believe, coming up next. And we'll get that up sometime down the road when I get it done. So thanks for watching, guys.